Hey guys, you're tuned into AirFi and locked into the Aired Out Rock Show. Today we will be seeing Slash's horror movie. We'll look at the Velvet Underground's reissued album. We discuss Gorillaz' new single. And as usual, there is so much more, so keep it aired out.
You wouldn't be the new pastor, would you?
Well, actually, yes. How'd you know that?
Pastor Kingman asked me to keep an eye out for you.
Is that it? Oh!
Did the movers just leave everything on the ground?
No.
Former Guns N' Roses guitarist Slash has stepped out of his usual bubble and has revealed that he's produced his first horror film. The film Nothing Left to Fear was produced by Slash, as well as having written the score and the closing theme song. When speaking about the movie, Slash said, "Everything about doing this is exciting to me, a lot because I've had a passion for movies, and especially horror movies, for as long as I can remember. So at this stage of the game, to have the opportunity to be able to produce horror movies is great, and to be hands-on behind the scenes and getting to finally be involved where you can influence the outcome of what the picture's going to be like and what it's going to look like is very exciting." Slash's grammar, however, is awful. Slash is looking for another movie to work on, saying, "The next one I want to do is going to be something that I have in mind as being very ominous, and I want to keep focusing on the creature feature deal because that's what really turned me on to horror movies in the first place. So make sure you take a look at the trailer and get yourself to your nearest movie theatre and check it out. I really feel like he should do a cameo. He would be perfect."
This is your servant, Lord. This is his will.
Breaking, rotting, the hot sun. I fought the low one. Yeah, I fought the low one.
Mick Jones, the guitarist of The Clash, has revealed that he wrote songs with frontman Joe Strummer before he died in 2002. Mick said that he and Joe had planned to do an album together while Strummer worked with his band, the Mescaleros. He said, "We did write some more songs together and he was going to do them with the Mescaleros. We wrote a batch. We didn't used to write one, we used to write a batch at a time. The idea was he was going to go into the studio with the Mescaleros during the day and then send them all home. I'd come in at night and we'd work all night." He then revealed that Strummer was planning to use the songs they wrote for the next Clash album after he threw Mick out of the band in 1983. The duo had previously worked on the soundtrack for the 1986 film Sid and Nancy and were rumoured to have considered reuniting, but Joe was reportedly not interested. Well, let's hope Mick releases the songs sometime soon, as we would love to hear what they were working on.
My race is wrong. Sweetest little woman that I ever had. I fought the low one. I fought the
$26 in my hand. Up to Lexington, 125.
And now, guys, for another blast from the past. Don't say that we don't spoil you. The Velvet Underground's second album, White Light, White Heat, is going to be reissued as part of a 3-disc 45th anniversary box set. Yes! The 30-track set will feature remastered versions of songs from the 1968 album. It will also feature bonus tracks, including alternative versions of songs, unreleased outtakes, and a live recording of the band's gig at the Gymnasium in New York in 1967. Exciting stuff. Both Lou Reed and John Cale were involved in the box set, and when speaking about the album, Lou Reed said, "No one listened to it, but there it is, forever, the quintessence of articulated punk, and no one goes near it." He is such a wordsmith, it is ridiculous. You can get your hands on the reissued box set on the 2nd of December, and make sure you let us know whether it's as good now as it was in 1968. If you were around in 1968. I wasn't. I'm too young.
First thing you learn is that you always gotta wait. I'm waiting for my man.
We were born with sun in our teeth and in our hair when we
Rock duo Best Coast have shared a brand new song called This Lonely Morning. The track is the second single to be unveiled from the band's upcoming mini album, Fade Away. Love a mini album. Sometimes I just can't deal with a full album. It's like, I want just a little bite. That's what you get with this. The album will be released on frontwoman Bethany Cosentinos' own Jewel City label and is a trial before the band's third album. That's a full-sized mouthful of an album, not just a mini one. When speaking about the mini album, Bethany said, "Everything in this band has worked out so organically that sometimes it scares me that something bad is going to happen. I don't even understand why this is happening. I made some songs, I put them up on the internet, and here I am now. I feel like the luckiest person in the world. If I wasn't doing this, I don't know what I'd be doing." We'll take a listen to the newest track and make sure you pick up their 2012 LP, The Only Place, before the spring release of their follow-up full album. A big mouthful of an album.
Sit by my side, come as close as the air, share in a memory of gray.
Neil Young has announced that he's going to be performing at a benefit concert held by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. The concert takes place at the end of October in LA and will raise funds for the Silver Lake Conservatory of Music, which was founded by Chili Peppers guitarist Flea. The charity offers music lessons to local children and adults, and with each ticket costing $2,000, massive, they should get a fair few lessons sorted. I would say that seems fair enough. When talking about the event, Flea said, "Having one of my favourite musicians, Neil Young, perform to help out the school is the greatest blessing. This is going to be the funnest fundraiser ever. All of us working together, making LA a better city and educating the kids. Yay!" I love that he put the word fun with fundraiser because he puts the fun into fundraiser. That was a bad joke, I'm sorry. If you guys have a spare $2,000 lying around, good for you, but it's all for a great cause, so get yourself a ticket.
Of changes, the world's spinning madly, it drifts in the dark. Black River!
The Fall have announced that they're releasing their new EP on the 11th of November. The album is called The Remainderer EP. That wasn't a mistake, that's what it's actually called, and contains 6 brand new songs from the prolific post-punk band. It'll be available on CD or 10-inch vinyl through Cherry Red Records. On the label's website, the album is described as a bridging point between albums, the new one being released by Cherry Red in 2014. This will be the band's whopping 31st studio album, with their last being Remit in May this year. They're just churning them out, these guys. After the release of the Remainderer EP, The Fall will release a live album which was recorded at various gigs over the last few years on the 25th of November. You can see the band at London's Clapham Grand on the 15th of November or at Leeds Brudenell Social Club on the 29th. Check them out. If I am smiling like a damn fool, it is because I have some great news. The Gorillaz are finally back. Yes! So happy. The band have debuted a new track called Whirlwind, just how I'm kind of feeling right now, which was originally recorded for their 2010 album Plastic Beach, but failed to make the final track listing. Frontman Damon Albarn appeared as a guest DJ on Radio 2 recently and played the track during his show. Earlier this year, he also suggested that there could be another Gorillaz album in the works now that he and Jamie Hewlett have reconciled after falling out. He said, Jamie wants to do other things, and I understand, but you never know. In a few years, he might have a burning desire to draw those pictures again, and as soon as he does that, as far as I'm concerned, there could be another Gorillaz album. So keep your fingers, your toes, and your legs crossed that this is true, or if you need the toilet, that's also going to be helpful, and have a listen to the latest track.
Sugary sweet machine, smelling unseen and all. Under the garden was all you were needing. You still
Neutral Milk Hotel have revealed a string of UK and Ireland dates as part of their forthcoming world tour. The band started their tour in the US and will hit the UK in spring next year, playing Dublin, Manchester, Glasgow and London. They will then move on to France before Spain and Portugal. So they're going to have a nice little time of things, you know, go to the beach, maybe drink some wine, the type of things you do in those places. The American rock band have been on hiatus since their last studio album, In the Aeroplane Over the Sea, was released in 1998. Apart from a live album in 2001 and a strange Bulgarian album in 2002, they've kept a very low profile. So get your tickets for their shows now, and hopefully they'll come out of the shadows more often. Let's just pry them out. Come on. Another band to release a new song are Haim. The sister trio have unveiled a new track that was co-written with US musician Twin Shadow. The song is called Edge and features on the deluxe edition of Haim's debut album Days Are Gone, which was released a couple of weeks ago. The girls also recently vowed that they would not have a public falling out, good on you girls, or an oasis moment, as they called it. They all insisted that there are no problems in the band, with Alana saying, "There is really no drama. We've been playing in a band since we were like 5. If we were going to fall out and have our oasis moment, it would have happened 10 years ago. The only time we ever have disagreements is when I want to borrow Danielle's leather jacket and she doesn't want to let me. That is a fight." I can understand. I can believe it. Girls in their leather jackets, it is something else. Make sure you catch Haim on their spring 2014 UK and Ireland tour and check out if there's any tension on the stage, if you could cut it with a knife. Simmons is never one to hold his tongue, and it seems he's caused a bit of a stir recently with his comments about musical idols. The Kiss bassist has said that artists like Kurt Cobain and Amy Winehouse cannot be seen as music icons because they've only released a handful of albums. Controversial words there. First, he touched on the current state of the music industry, saying there won't be another Beatles or another Prince or another Kiss because there isn't that support system. There's no record companies because kids have decided they can download and file share and bypass paying the artists what they rightfully should be getting. Then, when asked about his idols, he said Kurt Cobain. No, that's 1 or 2 records. That's not enough. Amy Winehouse, that's 1 or 2 records. That's not enough. What? Just because you died, that makes you an icon? No, no. Well, do you guys agree with Gene, or do you think it is rubbish? Let us know via Twitter at AirFi, 2 eyes at the end.
I want you to sing!
This has been the Rock and Indie Show here on AirFi. We've got 15 minutes of rock and indie music videos coming up. I've been Vic. This has been Aired Out.